Alright guys, I'm Social Scrutiny and today I'll be scrutinising Iman Gadzhi's latest 3-hour, 3-part The Rescue series. You may have seen the trailer. It depicts Iman working in a fast food restaurant and compares him to the modern day, balling out of control Iman we all know. So I signed up, and after receiving a couple of questionable emails and entry into a WhatsApp group with only Iman in it, Iman released the first episode and the rescue began. Iman has found a new scapegoat, the education system, or as he calls it, the conditioning factory. He claims that the schools were designed like prisons, and he claims that these 5 lost principles that he has rescued based on trusty philosophers like John Locke, Plato, Da Vinci, Marcus Aurelius, Socrates, who everyone knows the name of, but no one actually knows what they stand for, will save us. These principles from them will save us. And although he makes some good points, such as the fact that Harvard has enough money in the bank in Coca-Cola, and that it could pay its students' tuition 120 times over, I'm not convinced. But let's get into it. In chapter 1 of his monologue, modern-day philosopher and saviour of our education system, Iman, claims that the battle between the free-thinking and much better equipped Prussian army and the less well-equipped but well-drilled and obedient army of Napoleon. The intellectuals of Russia came to the conclusion that the reason for the loss was that their soldiers were free for thinking, whereas Napoleon's army were obedient and followed orders. In response to this, they created the indoctrination system, which brainwashes creative children into becoming modern-day, proud Prussian imperialists who mindlessly obey orders. Johann Gottlob Fichte was one of the creators of this education system. He believed that the German nation should be united, that Jews should be expelled and Germans were the superior race. Sound like anyone familiar? That's right. Iman claims that the current education system was the brainchild of someone who was the father of Nazism. Horace Mann was the father of American education, and John D. Rockefeller, who I'm sure you've heard of, was an American industrialist who needed more factory workers. Therefore, both of these guys created a whole education system that would churn out mindless and obedient workers. In his words, "In our dreams, we have limitless resources, and the people yield themselves with perfect docility to put the moulding hand. We shall not try to make these people or any of their children into philosophers, or men of learned, or men of science. We're not to raise up among them authors, orators, poets, or men of letters. We shall not search for embryo greats, artists, musicians, nor well cherish even the humbler ambition to raise up from them lawyers, doctors, preachers, statesmen, of whom we now have ample supply." So John D. Rockefeller secured $3.5 billion in federal funding to build these schools where tests were standardized and state-sponsored textbooks were read. Other industrialists such as Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford chipped in with their advice, with Carnegie saying he needed a nation of engineers, repairmen, and railroad workers. Rockefeller wanted a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers. In chapter 4, Iman goes on to explain how the university system is also part of your conditioning. He explains how after a bank gives out a loan, a student loan, 80% of the loan's value is given to a guarantee agency. This shifts the risk of default from the banks to the guarantee agencies. However, Uncle Sam would be there for the guarantee agency if the student defaulted, effectively guaranteeing the guarantee agency. This eliminated all counterparty risk for the universities, as if a student defaulted, they would still get paid. Knowing this, they jacked up their prices. Furthermore, did you hear recently about the $150 million donation to Harvard a hedge fund manager recently made? Iman goes on to explain how the generous and philanthropic nature we all associate with billionaire hedge fund managers may not explain this donation. Harvard has $45 billion in endowment savings. And instead of just letting this money sit there in their JP Morgan checking account, it gives it to hedge funds to invest. These managers make massive fees, and to complete the whole circle, the managers then make donations to US universities as a status symbol, with the added benefit of ensuring their dim, spoilt brat kid gets an undeserved place in college. Iman claims that this university system is a bubble waiting to pop. With the fast-changing job market, Iman claims it is only worth going to university if you get accepted by one of the top-rated Ivy League ones, as top tech and STEM employers are still hiring. This is because it's not their abilities or work ethic that determines your job prospects. It's simply how prestigious the university that is stamped on your diploma is. Iman even claims that top tech firms hire all the talent available from Ivy Leagues, simply so their competitors don't get them. Iman claims that these hires just wander mindlessly around making TikToks, as they have no actual work to do. Which, to be fair, I have seen some of those TikToks. Either you succeed within the system by going to an Ivy League, or you become an outsider, someone who will succeed outside of the system. And as most of Iman's viewers are lost young men looking for direction, it's a good sales pitch. This is where Iman, in his second video, Iman delves into the values and principles that he claims Socrates, Alexander the Great, and other giants of philosophy held. He claims scholars and wannabe wise and critical thinkers followed a curriculum. The inferior skills were grammar and communication, rhetoric, the skill of being able to articulate yourself effectively, and dialectic, the skill of comparing different perceptions. The superior skills were astronomy, music, and arithmetic. All of this is a precursor to Iman selling you his own curriculum, the same way he created a false choice between his curriculum and the Rockefeller traditional education. He then includes some admittedly relevant but thoroughly rinsed phrases from the guru self-improvement space. Live a life of delayed gratification instead of instant gratification. Seek intense hardship to forge discipline, self-control, blah 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 blah. After doing some humble bragging about the school he built in Nepal, the time he flew all of his friends to a ski chalet for the weekend, which I'm not jealous of at all, he makes the interesting point that great philosophers, Socrates, were not geniuses in their own right, but they were only geniuses together, as they mentored each other, but that they were... However, this point becomes less interesting when you realise that these philosophers definitely didn't network and share ideas, as they lived in different centuries, and that the probable reason for Iman making this claim is just to make you buy his course, of which mentors are a key selling point. He then makes the simply mad claim that society today is close to stage 4 conditioning, where they have complete control of the truth. An alarming prospect, I admit. However, although cancel culture is a very real scourge, and these days people definitely feel like they have to tiptoe around controversial subjects, I'm pretty sure we're not at a stage where we're all stripped of all of our freedom and all choice, such as in communist Russia and Stalinist Russia, where it doesn't matter what your truth is. Alright, we're on to the last video, guys. Iman starts the trilogy in the Rescue series with a motivational speech. It takes us back to a rainy day in London. He was sitting on the tube and was surrounded by miserable people. He could see the pain and frustration etched onto everyone's faces. He could tell none of them wanted to be there, and he swore that one day he would find a way to live a life on his terms, instead of slaving away in a job he hated. He goes on to talk about limiting beliefs, and how in order to remove them, you need to expose yourself to different realities and different people. For example, In order to surround yourself, in order to understand how rich people view money, you need to surround yourself around rich people, around successful people, to see how they don't let their emotions get in the way, to see how indifferent they are to money. Once again, Iman knows that his young male audience doesn't have access to rich people, and again his solution is paying $1,000 for the resourceful mentors included in his course. And if you don't have $1,000, Iman recommends reading 2 to 3 hours a day, like he did as a teenager, and letting the books mentor you. I had my first mentoring session with a book last night, but it left me on red. Additionally, Iman uses monk protocol to ensure productivity in a world full of distractions. He challenges his viewers to go 90 days without weed or alcohol, to do 10 minutes of meditation a day, and to do 30 minutes of exercise a day. Furthermore, not wanting to be prescriptive, he recommends adding 2 personalised goals to the monk stack, such as reading 30 minutes a day or aiming to have less than 2 hours of screen time per day. After making the claim, people with normal jobs, even doctors, are enslaved due to the responsibilities and need for approval to their employer, Iman gives his viewers 2 choices. Ignore all the revelations and eye-opening truths that you have learned in this video, stay a slave to the system, or become an outsider. All of Iman's The Rescue videos have been subtle sale pitches for his course. However, in the last 20 minutes of this video, the sale is blatant. I was planning on making a part 2 of this video, where I buy and review the course Iman is trying to sell you. However, the video, there's no point, as he is simply trying to repackage and resell his old courses. He repackages his old Agency Navigator course, describing how connecting businesses with a problem to a business who can solve their problem can make you 5 or 10k a month. Then he resells his old Pen to Profit course, where he claims that copywriting can generate up to £100,000 per day by writing emails, ads, and website pages for business. Next, his 6-figure sales rep course teaches people how to sell things remotely on behalf of rich people. I assume you get a commission per sale, as Iman doesn't go into detail, and speeds through to his main sell. His godlike, unrivaled and unparalleled, uninhibited mentors. That's right guys, chief copywriter Louis Spurger and big swinging dick remote sales rep Paul Daly are all yours once a week on a group sales call. These guys will make you a customizable action plan tailored to your needs. With motivational music in the background pumping, Iman claims his mentors have told him that every single student that has showed up to these calls has made money. I'm not so sure. Considering the course review videos on the internet are mostly negative, even though I'm pretty sure, like Tate's Hustlers University, students can get a referral bonus for sharing his courses. Finally, Iman reveals his first new course in 2 years, Digital Launchpad. Although it's not clear what this course entails, as Iman speeds through it as a precursor to his 6-week fast-track Agency Navigator course. Iman then strangely compares you to a stone, as most precious stones are apparently created under intense conditions and intense pressure. In just 6 weeks, Iman will choose the right curriculum for you, create a tailored action plan, and show you how to approach potential clients. He even claims people who can barely speak English have prospered with his course, although I'm finding that hard to believe, considering copywriting, selling, and talking to clients would all need a good level of English. He claims it will take 6 weeks to get a client who will pay a $2,000 retainer, all for $83 per month, with the first payment billed annually. So in reality, a hefty 1k payment. To be fair, if you're not satisfied, you can get a refund after 14 days, although I have a feeling to get this refund you'd have to go through a lot of hoops. In conclusion, even though Iman's videos about the education system are interesting, they serve one purpose, and that purpose is to make you part ways with your cash. Iman's referral program isn't as easy to access compared to Tate's. However, it does exist, so it's likely Iman's army of shills will be promoting this course in order to make money from their referral codes. And in my humble opinion, the course will not be worth buying. But as I always say, I could be wrong, so go ahead and buy the course and roast me in the comments if I'm wrong. Thank you for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe,